Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. As usual, before we start our lesson, kita ni akan mulakan dengan berselawat ke atas Rasulullah SAW selama 2 minit. Mari kita ni sama-sama membaca 3 niat penting sebelum memulakan selawat ke atas Rasulullah SAW. Yang pertama, kami niatkan selawat kami untuk memenuhi perintah Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Yang kedua, kami niatkan selawat kami untuk memenuhi hak Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Dan yang ketiga, kami niatkan selawat kami untuk mendapat syafaat Rasulullah di akhirat kelak. 2 minutes from now.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد 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 اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد
Doa sebelum belajar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma aftah alaina hikmataka wanshur alaina min hazaini rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Ya Allah, bukakanlah ke atas kami hikmat-hikmat-Mu dan limpahilah ke atas kami khazanah rahmat-Mu. Wahai yang maha pemurah lagi maha penyayang.
Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Ya Rabbku, lapangkanlah untukku dadaku dan mudahkanlah untukku urusanku dan lepaskanlah kekakuan dari lidahku, supaya mereka mengerti perkataanku.
Amin.
Amin, 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 ya Rabbal Alamin. Our topic for today will be test of divisibility and index notation. Please get ready with your A4 paper and pay attention. Your first task will be you need to copy down the examples and also the answers. And your second task, you need to complete your PDF worksheet. First, we will cover with your test of divisibility, and the learning outcomes of this will be students should be able to define divisibility. Students should know after this what is divisibility, and the second one, students should be able to apply the divisibility rules that will be given in these notes for your reference. Okay, this will be the divisibility rules. Divisible means when you divide that number, you will not have any remainder. So that is what we call as divisible. Alright? And the number is divisible by 1 if every number is divisible by 1. A number is divisible by 2 if the last digit is 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. A number is divisible by 3 when the sum of its digits is divisible by 3. A number is divisible by 4. A number can be divided by 4 if the last two digits is divisible by 4. Last two digit is divisible by 4. A number is divisible by 5 if the last digit is 0 or 5. Okay? If the digit is 0 or 5. A number is divisible by 6 if the number is divisible by 2 and 3. A number is divisible by 7. How? The digit is double and subtracted from the number formed by remaining digits. The result is divisible by 7. For example, let us check if 203 is divisible by 7. First step, double the last digit. Okay, double. Double the last digit means 3 times 2 will give you 6. Then it says subtracted from the number formed by remaining digit. So subtract that from the rest of the number. This 2 and 0 is the rest of the number, right? So 20 minus with 6 will give you 14. The last step, check to see if the difference is divisible by 7. 14 is divisible by 7. Okay, therefore, if that happens, 203 is also divisible by 7. Okay, now, a number is divisible by 8. The number represented by its last three digits is divisible by 8. If the number represented by its last three digits is divisible by 8. For example, 47,328. You look at the last three-digit number, which is 3, 2, and 8, correct? So 328, you try to divide by 8, you will get 41. Therefore, 47,328 is divisible by 8. Okay? A number is divisible by 9 if the sum of its digit is divisible by 9. For example, 513. Okay? 5 plus 1 plus 3 will give you 9. Alright? Therefore, 513 is divisible by 9. 10. A number is divisible by 10 if the last digit is 0. If the last digit is 0, it's divisible by 10 or by 5. Okay? And 11, a number is divisible by 11. How? Add and subtract digits in an alternating patterns. Add digit, subtract next digit, add digit, etc. Then check if that answer is divisible by 11. For example, 913. Okay? Add first digit, subtract second digit, add next digit. So you will get 11. Therefore, 913 is divisible by 11. 12, the number is divisible by both 3 and 3. By both 3 and 4. For example, 648. If by 3, you refer to divisible by 3 here. Okay? So you will get 6. 6 is divisible by 3. Because 6 is multiples of 3. Correct? And by 4, you look at 4, the last two digits is divisible by 4. So 48 divided by 4, you will get 12. Therefore, 648 divisible by 12. Okay? These are the simple rules that can help you to define if the values can be divisible by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or 11 or 12. Okay? And this happens when you are not using calculator. If you are using calculator, don't waste your time. You just key in the numbers. You just click that numbers, punch the numbers, and divide with the given questions. Okay? In this case, if you are not using calculator. Okay? Okay, moving on with example 1. We have 3 questions here. A is 72 divisible by 2, B is 53 divisible by 3, and C is 4243 divisible by 9. I will give you 1 minute to try. Don't forget to copy down the examples and your answers. Okay? 1 minute from now. Okay, now, what A is 72 divisible by 2? According to the divisibility rules, if the last digit is 2, then the number should be divisible by 2. So the answer is yes. B is 53 divisible by 3. We refer to the rules. The sum of its digit is divisible by 3. Okay? So 5 plus 3 will give you 8. Do you think 8 is divisible by 3? The answer is no. C is 4253 divisible by 9. We refer to the rules. The sum of its digit is divisible by 9. Okay? So 4 plus 2 plus 4 plus 3 will give you 13. So, do you think 13 is divisible by 9? The answer is no. Moving on with example 2. Example 2, circle the numbers that are divisible by both 5 and 10. Okay, I repeat myself. Example 2, circle the numbers that are divisible by both 5 and 10. 1 minute from now. This number, okay? From this numbers in this box. Okay, now be careful with these questions. The instruction, that number must be divisible by both 5 and 10. If you look here, the end of each of these numbers are 0 and 5, but it must be 5 and 10, both 5 and 10. So your answer is 470 and 3120. Okay, 470 and 3120. Next, example 3. Color the numbers that are divisible by both 4 and 7. Again, the word both. Okay, now I will give you 1 minute to answer these questions. Copy down the examples and just copy down the answers in your paper. Which answers that divisible by both 4 and 7? Okay, now the answer are 1008, 728, and 5712. I repeat myself, the answer are 1008, 728, and 5712. You can try to figure it out by using the divisibility rules, and you will surely find out that all of these three numbers can be divided by both 4 and 7. Now, we move to the another subtopic, index notation. This index notation is not that new to you, okay? You already familiar with these index notations during your year 6, okay? The learning outcomes for this subtopic. By learning this subtopic, this index notation, students should be able to explain, read, and write index notation for a to the power of n, where n is a positive integer. You only learn about n, a positive integer. Okay? To understand, students should be able to understand, read, and write index notation for positive integers power of 10. Okay? Powers of 10. If you look at this one, okay, in your notes, index notation is a way of representing numbers. Constants is numbers, okay? Constant is value here. And variable, example, x and y, that have been multiplied by themselves a number of times. The same numbers, the same variable repeated itself, okay? Repeated itself few times, a number of times. In general, for example, like this. A repeated itself. A times A times A times A times A times A times A. And when we say general, this will be the formula. Okay, formula how we need to how we write the values in terms of index notation. And should be any values. Okay, if it is one time, n will be 1. If A repeated twice, n will be 2. If A repeated 4 times, n should be 4. Okay, things like that. And how are we going to read this one? A to the power of n. A to the power of n, like that. Okay, that is how we pronounce, that is how we read A to the power of n. Okay, the next point, the expressions of, this is of, okay, sorry for the typo. The expressions of index notation, A, the number here we call it base, and the number at the top we call it index, power or exponent, okay. Usually exponent used in your upper level, okay. You will meet with one topic about this exponent, okay. I repeat myself for this point. A here we call it base, okay, and at the top we call it index, boleh. We can call it power, we can call it exponent. Alright, then the next point, power of 10 is a unique way of writing large numbers or smaller numbers. Instead of using so many zeros, you can show how many powers of the 10 will make that many zeros. Okay, many zeros mean 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0, and that kind of values we can write in terms of powers of 10. Okay, now example 1, find the missing base. For your reference, A is the base, N is the power. So the base is missing 3, 5, 6. That one we call it power. Alright, for example, part A, 3 to the power of 3 will give you 27. But B, 2 to the power of 5 will give you 32. That means here 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 will give you 32. If here 3 times 3 times 3 will give you 27. Okay, you get that so far? Now, the next questions, you need to try it by yourself. 1 minute from now. Okay, now C, the answer for C is 10, D 20, E 10, F 1, G 4, and H 5. Okay. The next example, example 2, write the following using index form. Okay. This is exam type questions. If the exam asks you to write the values in terms of index form, you need to write the values in terms of index form. Alright? Now, generally like this. A times A times A times A, and at the end of it, A to the power of N. N is the number of repeated, how many times the numbers repeated itself, okay? As I explained earlier, if A to the power of 5, that means this A repeated 5 times, things like that. Alright, now I will give you example for part A. 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. So this 6 repeated itself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So in terms of index form, it will be written as like this. Okay, you get that so far? Okay, now the next questions, can you please try it by yourself? Don't forget to copy down the examples and try to answer it. 1 minute. Okay, now B, the answer is 34 to the power of 2 because 34 repeated twice. C, the answer is P to the power of 5. Why? Because P repeated 5 times. So D, the answer is 10 to the power of 5. 10 repeated by 5 times. Okay. 6, 34, P, and 10 are the best. Next, example 3. Put the correct index on the left hand side to make these equations equal. Okay. Now, the missing part is the index, the power, the exponent. Alright? The n is missing now. So, how? For example, part A, 2 to the power of what? The answer will be 8. 2 repeated itself by how many times that will give you 8. Okay? Itu masuk ayat. So, 2 repeated 3 times. 2 times 2 times 2 will give you 8. So, the answer for part A is 3. The next questions you need to try by yourself. Don't forget to write down the examples together with your answers. 1 minute. Okay. Part B, the answer is 6. C, the answer is 3. 7. D, the answer is 7 to the power of 2. E, the answer is 3. 100 repeated 3 times will give you that 1 million. Right? Now, F. F. If 9 to the power of 1, that means 9 repeated 1 time, correct? Only 1 time, so the answer should be 9, right? But here, the answer is 1. So, 9 to the power of what will give you 1? The answer is 0. Okay?
Doa selepas belajar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma inni astaudi'uka ma 'allamtani fardudhu ilayya inda hajati ilaihi wala tansani ya rabbal alamin. Ya Allah, sesungguhnya aku menitipkan padamu ilmu-ilmu yang telah engkau ajarkan kepadaku, dan kembalikanlah kepadaku sewaktu aku memerlukannya kembali. Dan janganlah engkau lupakan aku kepada ilmu itu, wahai Tuhan yang memiliki semesta alam. Amin.